fate has brought you to me again. I knew you'd succeed. Fire and bone do not lie. There's no time left, child. The horned god is tearing Gudri's body apart, and his fury fills the air. Soon, his essence will break loose and devour everything in its path. I must begin the ritual. But I fear he may be too blinded by rage and pain to see the first trophy as anything more than bone and memory. Kill him? He's our god! For generations he gave us strength, brought us the hunt. He guided us through the ages. He's twisted now, yes. But we made him that way. We fed him guilt, blood, and vengeance. But his original self still flickers inside. And I believe you can help me reach it. I understand. He's the chieftain after all. But be wary of his words. Whatever is going through your mind right now, there is no other option. We need you and your help. If you need to prepare, go. I'll open the passage for you anyway. But remember, you're not going there to bring death to the horned god. Wound him, weaken him, then return. That's when the trophy will speak, and I will close the gate behind you. Hopefully, for good. Take care. The horned god does not forgive weakness.
Maybe he can, but so what? Gudri won't survive the process either way. Besides, if you ask me, it was foolish of my ancestors to bring that god here. They didn't know what they were doing or what the consequences would be. And now we, their descendants, are the ones left to deal with it. If they'd known what would happen, I'm sure they'd have left him back in the homelands. We need to get rid of that damn thing once and for all. Even if it means the woods stay empty and the hunt runs dry. I won't let my people live in fear anymore. For too long my predecessors let that old witch manipulate them. Gudri must die, and when he does, the Stagfather will show himself. That's when we'll strike and kill him. Hard not to believe in something you saw with your own eyes. And now that I've seen what he's capable of, I know there's no place for him in Avalon. We made a mistake keeping him alive with our faith. If we manage to rebuild the tribe, we'll do things differently. We might not be the greatest hunters anymore, but at least we'd be alive. Besides, no one can take our skills away from us. It's true, We pride ourselves on being the best hunters in the land. And at the root of that pride lies the horned god and the supposed grace he once gave us. But if the old god failed us, we'll find ourselves a new one. At least those who feel the need to can. I'm not worried about the Svein identity. There are so few of us left. Not on my own, of course. I need your help. From what I understand, the fight has to take place in 2 realms. And I already know you can walk that unrealm of the hunt, as Glirna calls it. You'll kill the Stagfather in that realm, and my people and I will take care of whatever appears on this side. We need to break free from this curse once and for all. Do this for me, and the full strength of the Svein will stand with the voice of the tribes. It won't. We know too much already, and that's thanks to you. I won't lie, your fight will be the toughest. But you've faced worse before, haven't you? Let me know when you're ready. It's time to end this madness once and for all.
By what right do you tread in my realm, blasphemer? Before me unbidden. I heard the call. I answered it, as I have done for centuries. And the moment I stepped beyond my realm, the weirdness consumed me. The hunt that began then was unlike the hunts I behold through the eyes of my followers. I was the hunter, they the prey, and I felt in that moment as if it had always been so. Only those who summoned me were hidden from my sight. The Svein owe me obedience. Such is the law of nature, eternal and binding. It is they who gave me form through their faith. Without me, the Svein are no more. So tell me, Will you strike down the strength of a tribe with your own hands? Or will you spare them what they are? I cannot refuse the challenge. But know this. No god is fated to fall by a mortal's hand. Die with honor, my prey.
You killed him. You have no idea what you've done. He was our beginning, our meaning. You ripped the heart out of our tribe. You speak with Barlam's foolish tongue, thinking a god is something you pick like a winter cloak. The horned god was with us from the beginning. We were him. You don't understand what you've taken from us. And you probably never will.
You made the right choice. Thanks to you, we can now rebuild the tribe on our own terms. Yes, I will. Even though only a few of us remain, the Svine tribe will honor the old traditions and support our brethren with the strength of our arms. Perhaps what awaits us now is death at Camelot's hand. If the Council of Elders decides to go to war, we no longer have a god to aid us in battle or in our struggles with the world. But you know what? So be it. Better to die in battle than to keep hiding in the woods like animals. It's time for the Svine to reclaim their rightful place among the Del Rida. Hard to say, but we'll decide together. I propose moving to the capital since it's nearly empty. We can hunt anywhere, and this place It'll always remind us of the massacre the Stagfather and his fanatics brought upon us. I believe it's time we stepped out of the shadows and tried to unite with the other tribes.
Hello.
Come in. How can I help you? I'm listening. Watch your step. The woods aren't kind.
You're not hurt, are What brings you to... As you...
Not... Break...
Though, of course, the greatest reward is knowing you've contributed to a breakthrough that could change Avalon. Speaking of which, would you like to contribute? A little bit more? You've proven yourself capable and resilient, which makes you an ideal candidate for something far more valuable than mere coin. The snail slime you brought me needs to be tested in conjunction with my formula, a distillation of Dalriata essence I've been perfecting. Simply stand against that wall there. One small injection, and you could become stronger, faster, maybe even resistant to the weirdness itself. Others might balk at such an opportunity, but I suspect you possess the vision to recognize greatness when it's offered. Now, shall we proceed with making history? Ah, how predictable. The truly visionary are always dismissed by those who lack imagination or courage. The injection will only take a moment. Any discomfort will be temporary, I assure you. A small price for the transformation that awaits. The Dalriata's strength flows through this formula. Soon it will flow through you as well. Hold still now. Ah, you're awake at last. Good. I was beginning to worry the sedative was too strong for even your constitution. I apologize for the accommodations. Locking you up was necessary. The process of creating the essence requires absolute precision. No interruptions. The Dalriata around you, they didn't survive the extraction process. A regrettable necessity, you understand. When their blood flowed through their veins, it served no greater purpose. But here in my laboratory, it gained meaning. I gave it purpose. They died because, despite their physical strength, they were fundamentally weak. That same weakness afflicts all humans on Avalon, and soon weirdness will claim them all. Can't you see the nobility in what I'm doing? I'm transforming humanity into something that can endure, making us all stronger. The Dalriata's physical superiority is only the beginning. What I'm looking for is something transcendent. Beyond human, beyond the limitations of flesh. And your blood might be exactly what I need. You're more resilient than the others. You might be the final catalyst for my formula. When the weirdness comes, and it will come, mark my words, only those transformed by my formula will survive, the weak will perish, and the strong will live. You may think it's cruel. It's not. It's the fundamental law of nature. And when I complete the formula, we will ascend nature. We will become as gods. Each vial I will create. They will contain not just blood, but distilled purity. The essence of what humanity was meant to be. Excellent. At last, I can move forward with my research. Here's your payment. The Dalriata are merely the beginning. Their tribal minds still remember what civilization has forgotten, the sacred violence of creation. The weak masses with their petty morality cannot grasp the necessity of this great work. They call me monster. I am their salvation. Each death is a ritual. Each extraction brings us closer to the primordial state. I have surpassed the boundaries of the profane dabblers in alchemy. The guild sends agents to stop me. Fools. My hands tremble, not from guilt, but from touching the very fabric of existence. I have become the vessel for forces beyond comprehension. When my work is complete, chosen few will rise as titans among the ruins, a new aristocracy of spirit and flesh. You could have been among them. Now you will merely witness the dawn of a new age. Ah! I've said too much. The formula demands my attention now. Final synthesis is at a critical stage. I need to focus. The calculations must be precise. One error could ruin months of work, waste all these necessary sacrifices. Rest while you can. Conserve your strength. You'll need it for what comes next. When I return, the process will be complete. The transformation will begin, and you will have the privilege of being among the first to ascend. This chamber of horrors will soon become a birthplace of gods. Just a little longer now. I apologize for the accommodations. Locking you up was necessary. The process of creating the essence requires absolute. Precision. No interruptions. The Dalriata around you, they didn't survive the extraction process. A regrettable necessity, you understand. When their blood flowed through their veins, it served no greater purpose. But here in my laboratory, it gained meaning. I gave it purpose. They died because, despite...
Come here. Step closer. I won't bite. It's good to see you, stranger. Not many souls pass through these lands anymore. A weird night hit, and I ran out of cobweb. Nothing to worry about. I've suffered worse back in the day. I'm Kedron of the Volker tribe, by the way. And you're clearly not from around here. What brings you to our humble homeland? Just don't tell me you're a Camelosian spy. I'll fight you if I have to, but I'd prefer to get my strength back first. We've got one of those all right. His famous crown, blasted thing. They say he gave it to our ancestors as a sign of gratitude. I say that's bullshit. The crown was used to command giants, and only Arthur could wear it. By giving it to us, he sent a message. Behave, or I'll return and send the giants to devour you. A warning, not a gift. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. But since you're already here, and I need some time to pull myself together, how about doing me a favor? And to answer the question you haven't asked yet, yes, there's something in it for you. Like not being killed by my Dalrita kin the second they see your face. Oh, you could, but you wouldn't get far. That much I'm sure of. I need you to find Gerfan and inform him of my situation. I can't complete the task he gave me. He's also the one who can grant you safe passage through our lands. Without it, things might turn bloody real quick. Gerfan is the voice of the tribes, chosen long ago, back when his name carried weight and the leaders still listened. They say Mather herself blessed the runes of his fate. Now, he's just an old man, waiting for a moot that may never come. But I'll give him this. He still believes, still tries to gather the tribes. If you ask me, that won't happen again in 100 years. The tribes are too busy tearing each other apart. Those days of sitting together to plan a future, gone. There's no future left, just snow, ice, and the weirdness. Still, you should meet him. From long ago, from back when we still carried the respect of our people, I was a scribe, witness to the choices that shaped the tribes. I was there when tankards slammed in unity, or axes hit the moot table in anger. Gerf trusted me, told me things he'd never share in public. His doubts, his burdens. I remember them all. But things change. You'll meet plenty of Dalrita out here. Decide for yourself what they're worth now. A gathering of the Dalrita tribes, called by the voice, used to happen in times of peace or war, whenever something needed all of us to act. But there hasn't been one in years, not since the fall of the Gunvalder tribe. Everything's scattered now, broken. I'll be fine. Just make sure Gerfan knows where I am. Don't keep him waiting. So, you're a real wanderer then. And here I thought this was your first time in the Forlorn sorts. You've seen a thing or two, and you've met Gerf. That means you've crossed paths with a piece of our history. That man and the capital, they're both relics, if you know what I mean. How's the old wolf doing? No, don't tell me. I'll find out for myself sooner or later. Sure, no need to gossip. Though I'll admit, it was nice talking to someone outside the tribes who isn't some screaming Camelotian scum. Step closer. I won't bite. Oi, you, stranger. Got a minute. Step closer. I won't bite.
Hope you'll find some. What? Let me see those notes. Dolph, you deranged, twisted old man. I apologize. I'm just a bit shocked. I knew Dolph had unconventional ideas, but this goes far beyond what I ever imagined. There's something seriously wrong in our guild. Thank you for bringing this to light. Given how much you've helped us, I think it's time for you to meet Heled. There's no point in explaining too much now. You'll see soon enough. Just know Heled embodies everything the guild stands for. That's all.
Oh, hello there.
Before you ask, what can I say? The man's eager, in every way imaginable. And his questionable taste in literature aside, as I said, he's no a bad sort. At least he's open to trying new things. Maybe, in time, he'll even learn to enjoy books that don't include phrases like love apples. He doesn't mind that I'm a Dell reader, so why should I be any worse? I'm not my sister. Sure, I'm not overly fond of Camelotians, but that's mostly because they've never been too fond of me. Well, apart from him, it seems. One more thing. I can see you're alright, and I hope I can trust you. We need to talk. I need to ask you for something. It's serious. It might even be a matter of life and death. There's a stone tablet in Lord Devane's manor. Why? Of course there's a... Then don't, for all I know, though if that... Hello again.
What's on your mind? Oh, by the piggish wounds. That looks like a four-dweller's skull. I'm not sure. I can't put my finger on it. It looks similar, but far more primitive. Quickly, let's hide it. Who knows how people may react to seeing something like this in the middle of town? Let's not cause trouble for Varel. Tell me, what was it like? What did you see? That's remarkable. And it still worked after all these years. I've heard of constructs before. I always thought they were just stories told about the Four Dwellers, the kind meant to scare kids into behaving. but they were said to activate only in the presence of a four-dweller. So why did it respond to you? Well, that explains it. Say hi from me, and thanks for trusting me with that. I'd love to hear how you got your hands or your soul on something like that and still walk among us. But right now, I need to focus on this discovery of a lifetime. So tell me, what else did this construct say? Cave paintings? With their story? Incredible! Astounding! I'll have to go there myself someday. But now, I can only imagine what they might have looked like. Thank you. Here, take this for your reward and for your efforts for uncovering the artifact. I hope only the most remarkable adventures and discoveries find their way to you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll return to my thoughts. What's on your mind? Up.
Help a soul out on your journey. Have some spare food or coin? I need the help.
It's good to finally meet you. Alma and Tyrannus have sent me reports about your progress. Thank you for dealing with the troublemakers in our guild, though I wish your introduction to us had been under better circumstances. I'm surprised you've even heard of that term. The Druids have always been very thorough in preventing our existence. Now that they're gone, I assumed that knowledge was lost. But yes, I am the head of the guild. And don't worry, I'm perfectly fine like this. Knowing what I might become, Dryads have always been a particular interest of mine. The curse couldn't have chosen better. Yes, a very old, very persistent one, born of something abhorrent, I believe. It's carried and sustained across the land by the weirdness. I doubt we'll ever trace its origins. I've spent most of my life researching its possible causes, and this is the only explanation that fits, despite what some druids might have thought about the so-called feminine weaknesses they harped on about. The guild was founded long before I became a dryad. Trust me, I spent my entire career preparing for this eventuality. I built this place, gathered like-minded people, and only then entered the ritual circle. Becoming bound to this place wasn't a problem. It was an opportunity. For further research, of course. I'm not sure how much you know about dryads, but we are as bound to a place as it is bound to us. I perceive things differently now, in ways I never could when I was flesh and blood. My connection to nature is far deeper than any druid could dream of. We are surrounded by boundless energies, and I feel their currents flowing through every creature, every plant around me. It's made me realize how much there is still to discover, and how uniquely positioned I am for the exploration. Well, my form might be surprising. After all, if you ask any druid, a dryad is a failure. But to me, it's a step in the right direction. You see, a dryad forms when a female druid is unable to complete her rite of passage. Sadly, it happens more often than not. But this has always been a personal fascination of mine, so I came prepared. I was fairly certain, yes. This curse, for I do believe it's an ancient curse on the land, is nearly impossible to avoid. There have been rare cases where a Ban Druid was born instead of a dryad, but those are exceptionally uncommon. It's better to prepare for the most likely outcome than gamble on the rarest one, isn't it? I decided not to see being bound to this place as a burden, but as an opportunity. It's not that bad. You were unfortunate enough to witness us at our worst, that's true. But such cases are rare, and we deal with them swiftly. Our goal is noble, but it can sometimes attract questionable individuals. Extracting and manipulating the spark of life sounds lofty and almost godlike. Some people take it to heart. A little too much. Ah, I'm glad you asked. You've arrived just in time to witness our crowning achievement. You see, the propaganda about druids using human sacrifices in their rituals was not entirely unfounded. It wasn't something they did constantly, but it did happen on occasion, and the results were incredibly powerful. It allowed them to manipulate the weirdness in ways that were previously impossible. The force of creation, combined with the pure potential of the weirdness, created limitless possibilities. But the cost was too great for anyone with even the most basic of morals. Yes, I don't believe in necessary evils, or that the ends justify the means. We desperately need a breakthrough in mastering the weirdness, but I vowed to find a different way. A better way. Being what I am has given me a unique ability to peer into the very energies that drive us, and what I uncovered is this. Human life is simply a form of energy. It is unique to us, and as I said, extremely potent. But it is still just energy. That means there must be a way to replace it with a more humane substitute. I believe so. In fact, that's one of the reasons I asked you here. After all the trouble we've put you through as a new member, I feel you've earned the privilege of seeing the fruits of our labor. Go on, take a look. It's just behind these doors. And what do you think? Impressive, isn't it? We don't. Every component was obtained in strict accordance with the Guild's Code of Conduct. Using the power granted by my unique condition and the weirdness, I created a life force entirely of my own design. Completely artificial. I infused that life into the creature. And now, here it is. Our very own living construct. Don't be vulgar. Of course not. Necromancers don't create anything. They merely toy with residual energies lingering in the dead. I didn't raise something that was once alive. I created life itself, from nothing. That's the interesting part. It actually does. Perhaps our form defines us more than we realize. Not the details, though. It doesn't even have all the usual organs. Just a heart, a brain, lungs, and a liver. The liver was crucial for some reason. How so? Of course not. It only resembles one. My skin is covered in bark, and I can exist bound only to one place. But that doesn't mean I'm a tree, does it? I was hoping for a little bit more enthusiasm, but I guess interesting will have to suffice. I've been considering conducting the ultimate test. I've discovered that a dryad can be freed from the place she's bound to by completing the ritual with a human sacrifice. Obviously, that was never an option. But now, I have access to energy that should be equivalent. If it frees me, it will mean we've succeeded. The energy has to be released, yes. But it's not truly alive like you or me. So perhaps destroy is a better term. You have been vital in ensuring our guild runs smoothly once again. So I thought that perhaps you would like to do the honors. No, the chamber is ready for the ritual. You may proceed whenever you're ready. It worked! I'm free! And the power coursing through me is truly astonishing. I was right. All these years of searching have finally yielded the results I hoped for. No, of course not. It only means that its life energy was equivalent to that of a human. It worked exactly as it was supposed to. You can stop worrying now. This truly is the beginning of a new era. Not only for us, but for all of Avalon. Now, I welcome you to the Guild as our newest member. Our doors will always be open to you, but I believe you have your own path to follow. Just be mindful that from now on, you are part of something greater. Whatever decisions you make, do not forget what it means to be an alchemist.
Once we get rid of Scarron, everyone will be better off. You'll see. Excellent. I knew you could do it. Now, all I need to do is defeat you and bring your head to the camp. Whoever avenges Scarron takes his place. That's the way of the nameless Darita. Runt! I'll show you, Runt! Come on! Fight me, you worthless wretch!
It's all lost. It's all lost. I am so sorry. I don't know what I thought. At first, the Frostgrots were curious. They started crawling toward me, and then there were flashes, sparks. They wanted to kill me. I didn't want to. I had to defend myself. It's all gone. Everything is gone. If there is no world where beautiful things don't end in violence, then what's the point? But so be it. If this is what everything comes down to, then I'll die fighting. Draw your blade!
Do we, know each other? I feel like I know you, but I'm seeing you for the first time in my life. I'm weirdly confused. I was looking for something. I think I was trying to dig something up. Something precious. But now it feels wrong. Bits and pieces. I remember digging. I remember cold stone. And then, nothing that makes much sense. But I still feel like I owe something to this grave. Thank you. I don't understand all of it, but I think it's better this way. Thank you. But I think...
Not another step. You. Who are you? And why do you think you belong here? Not here, you don't. Ulfraland ain't for outsiders. Not unless the voice of the tribe says otherwise. Trust me, I wouldn't let you in if you were King Arthur himself. Especially not him. He'd have a sword up his ass before he took a step past this gate. Seal looks real enough. Fine. Go on in. But don't cause trouble. We don't take kindly to outsiders sticking their noses where they shouldn't.
Hey, you! Gefon sent you, didn't he? To summon us for the moot. Just because we live up in the mountains doesn't mean we don't know what's happening in the wider world. Well, that works out perfectly. My father's been looking for someone for outside the tribes to help him with... something. That's all I know. He didn't tell me much, but he sounded really serious. He told me to bring the first person I came across. His name is Strana. Please, go meet him at his forge. You can't miss it.
Egil sent you, did he? I'm Stroner, a blacksmith. What brings you to our village? That kind of order should go straight to Thrigvi, though I doubt he'd be eager to leave his throne. Until a new chieftain is chosen, Thrigvi won't attend the moot. Thrigvi always dreamed of surpassing mortal strength, of becoming as mighty as the giants. He became obsessed with the lone pillar near our village. The Ulfr might not be known for their writing, but we have our legends. Thrigvi found out the pillar was a place where giants entrusted their souls to the Fordwellers, whatever that means. So we had a throne forged into the pillar and sat on it during a weird night. What happened after that changed everything for our tribe. I wouldn't call it madness. Thrigvi stopped being human. He grew to a monstrous size and gained unimaginable strength. He became something other. After that, human concerns no longer mattered to him. Yet he's still Ulfr, bound by our customs and rules. It might not mean much to an outsider, but trust me, it's a very dangerous situation. We tried. The moment we declared a new chieftain, Thrigvi appeared out of nowhere and killed the contender with a single blow. Then, like nothing had happened, he returned to his slumber. After that, the Ulfr began worshipping him like a god. Hard to believe, considering our disdain for magic and religion, isn't it? Yet, here we are. Don't be surprised if you hear them singing his praises or fawning. They're terrified of his power, although none of them will admit it. The Ulfr are a proud people, always the first to charge into battle. For us, an honourable fight is the greatest glory and duty. We are also renowned for our blacksmiths, the finest and the forlorn swords. Our weapons and armour are unmatched all across Avalon. But now we've lost our way. When Gunvaldr called for aid and Thrigvi forbade us from going, most of us stayed behind. It's the greatest shame of our tribe, and I know many feel the same. I don't know for sure. Thrigvi doesn't speak much these days, not in his current state, but I have a theory it probably had something to do with the awakening giant of the Gunvaldr tribe. Many tribes envied them for it, and Thrigvi has a special connection to the giants. Maybe that played a role in his decision. Yes, definitely. The Ulfr might be stubborn, but we've always valued unity among the Dalrita. Without Thrigvi's influence, there'd be no question. But his shadow looms large. It's hard to see a way forward while he's on that throne. Ah, so you've met some of my brothers already. You wouldn't ask that if you hadn't. Since you know about the Stone Wardens, I'll tell you the truth. Yes, I'm a member, and the Ulfr village is our unofficial capital. Darvan himself resides here, Gerfan's own brother, and our leader. The only way to remove an Ulfr chieftain is through an honourable duel, but there's no honour in fighting something like him. Perhaps my mentor Darvan knows how to defeat him. He won't tell me. He says he's afraid I'd try to face Thrigvi myself, and honestly, he's probably right. If I knew how to bring him down, I'd do it in a heartbeat. But Darvan thinks if our plans were discovered, I wouldn't live to see another day. He's probably right about that too. My brothers have grown unpredictable. Smart choice. He lives in the second largest house in the village. You'll find it easily enough. I'll be here if you need anything else.
stranger among the Ulfr. I don't yet know how to read this omen, but I'll be keeping an eye on you, outsider. Though I'm not sure anything worse than Thrigve could befall us. My name is Erland. I am the seer of the Ulfr tribe, although it seems few among us have any need for a seer. Folk would sooner put their faith in steel than in me. I don't know if I should speak about our fall with a stranger, but for some reason you were allowed among us. So you'll have your answer. Thrigve has taken hold of the power of the giants, something no human should ever wield. To surrender oneself to such forces is inhuman. It's a spit in the face of Mather. Man was not meant to meddle with what lies beyond his fate. Because that's what it is. Not a trial, not a misstep, a fall. He drags more than just himself into the abyss. I had a vision of what would await our tribe if nothing changes. We'd all end up as twisted wretches. The first omen has already come. The red eye. I saw it. It was watching me, just beyond our village. Have you ever heard of the Beholders, outsider? They were beings that dwelt deep in the dark beneath the earth. The Four Dwellers made them a promise to lead them out of that darkness. They promised the Beholders they would see the light, so the creatures followed that false light. They trusted the Four Dwellers and were twisted by the weirdness. They put their faith into something beyond their grasp. I believe Thrigve, reaching for the power of the giants, is doing the same, placing his trust in the wrong promise. I saw the red eye of a beholder. If nobody stops them, those abominations will crawl out again and twist us, just as they were once twisted. Is that so? Then perhaps your arrival can bring more than ill tidings. I saw the red eye on the slopes, just beyond the village, while I was foraging in the snow for roots to use in my rites. I think that's where you should begin your search. After they were infected with the weirdness, the Four Dwellers turned them into weapons. I once read some old Del Rida records, accounts of our ancestors being slaughtered by those foul things during the wars with the Four Dwellers. A terrible fate awaits those who've had any dealings with the giants or the Four Dwellers. The Gunvalder believed that their giants started to awaken and were slaughtered by Camelot. The Thoids gave their faith to a giantess, and they stained themselves with vile magic, turning their backs on the old faith in Mather. Beware the bad omens. Speak.
I'll be. I'd offer you my hand, stranger, but with the stone sleep taking me away, I reckon that's not the best idea. Still, I'm glad to see a new face before I leave this world behind. Especially someone with such a rare way about them. My name is Noleg. You're the last living soul outside my kin to hear that name. Well, I am a stone warden, and by our custom, a day comes when a stone warden begins to slip into the stone sleep. We give ourselves to the ore. Stone our forebears carved through for ages, raising halls and strongholds from its heart. We become yet another monument to the Forlorn swords. You tell me. I don't know what it is exactly, but there's something different about you. They say the stone sleep makes folk more attuned to the rare and unusual things in this world. Seems you carry one of those in you. That depends on who you ask. Me, I feel no pain, just peace. I knew what I was signing up for. Every stone warden does. But not all see it the same way. My family passed long ago, so I leave no one behind. But Olaf, he still has his daughter, Fuska. And she's been arguing with Darvan for weeks now, fighting over what should become of her father. It's a deeply personal thing, different for everyone. I've known stone wardens who felt the first signs of the stone sleep at dawn, and by the next dusk, they were already searching for the place they'd turned to stone. And I've known others where it took years. There's no rule to it. I don't count the days anymore, but I can feel it's nearly time for me to choose a place for myself. When the time draws near, one makes the journey to a place where they wish to fall asleep. And finally, when their body can no longer move or feed itself, their kin tend to them, feeding them, offering water, leaving gifts, and keeping vigil as the sleep takes hold. One of the finest stone wardens I've known had a habit of diving headfirst into any hole he spotted underground. Nothing could stop him. Fuska doesn't agree with our tradition. Understandable. She doesn't want to lose her father. But the poor girl doesn't understand that being called to the stone is the highest honor for a stone warden. Darvan is the leader of the stone wardens, and right now, maybe the most important man in the tribe, since Tryggva's no good for anything anymore. Let's not talk nonsense, all right? Oh, no. I'm just fine with how things are. Farewell, traveller. It was good to see a new face in the Ulfer village. Who knows? Maybe I'll still be around to see your coming bear some fruit. Trust.
Who goes there? Is it you, Fuska? I'm Olaf, senior journeyman of the Stone Warden's Brotherhood. It's rare I meet anyone from outside the tribes. I've never set foot beyond the Forlorn swords, so my knowledge of the wider world is limited. And now, as you can see, I'm here to stay. So tell me, what brings you to us? Or perhaps you prefer I share some wisdom instead? Let me guess. Everyone's falling over themselves to answer the call. No? That's what I thought. This isn't the first time Gerfon has called for a moot to unite against Camelot. And, as you can see, no one's eager to show up. The truth is, the Dalriada are tired of war. Old feuds and fighting off the monsters of the weirdness are burden enough. We're too divided, too worn down to take on a fight beyond the Forlorn swords. She's my daughter. A brave young woman who worries about me a great deal. She stops by every now and then to tend to my stone-bound body. A good girl. Though, if you ask me, she worries far too much. I'm not dying, after all. I'm simply entering the stone sleep. And that's far better than dying. Nothing happened. This is the process of stone sleep. It's my choice. I've chosen to leave this world on my own terms, surrounded by my brothers. The men you see here, frozen in time, are my kin. Each of them embraced the sleep, just as I do now. I know our customs may seem strange to outsiders, but trust me, there's no greater honor for a stone warden than to merge with the land we've served. I forget sometimes. Those outside the tribes don't know our ways. It's no secret, so I'll tell you. Stone sleep is how we unite with the land we've worked and protected. It's the highest honor. A chance to become one with the soil that sustained us. We believe it grants a kind of immortality. We are the noblest of orders, forged from the strongest miners and smiths. Our history goes back to the earliest days of the Dalriada in the Forlorn swords. We serve the land and its hidden treasures. Only the most skilled and devoted are welcomed among us. There's no room for aimless wanderers. We're born of the land, sustained by it, and in the end, we return to it. That's why we embrace the stone sleep. We've never accepted anyone who isn't Dalriada. Not in living memory, anyway. Darvan sticks to traditions like moss on stone. So don't hold your breath. That said, the world's changing. Not necessarily for the better, just shifting. Like the ground beneath our feet is moving, and we can't stop it. We used to say, the world will end before we let outsiders into our ranks. Maybe we cursed ourselves with those words. Don't take it personally if Darvan decides to make an exception for you. I trust his judgment. And if he does, the rest of the Brotherhood will fall in line.
You're in the Hall of Remembrance, in the seat of the Stone Wardens. My name's Ast. I look after this place. Try not to make noise, or touch anything. Yes, it's a hole where symbols of remembrance for our ancestors are kept. Oh, all sorts. Best if you take a look yourself. You're here, so I probably can't tell you more than you already know. Yes. Very likely. I spend a lot of time near the weird stone. That and weird steel, yes. But it takes time. And they turned into stone, yes. They were. As well as master craftsmen. Old Eirg, who was the first to describe the properties of weird steel. They're not statues. They're Dilrida, who've entered the stone sleep. The name says it all, really. It's the sleep Dilrida fall into at the end of their lives, when they turn to stone. Various Dilrida who earned honor in the Stone Wardens. I don't know if their names will mean anything to you. All right. That sculpture is Glimhilder Ironfinger. Ring any bells? Great. Then I don't need to tell you about her. I keep things in order. And I guard this place and the memory of the Stone Warden's history. Yes. Though in the Stone Wardens, tribal ties don't matter much. Goodbye.
I wouldn't come any closer if I were you. Because I said so. And here in the official hall of the Stone Wardens, my word is law. Leave in peace. I'm not granting an audience. Ah, your powers of observation are truly impressive. A nice piece. I recognize Gavor's design. Is this his way of telling me you're worth my time? And I want peace on Avalon. We all have wishes. Bold and straightforward. Qualities we look for among our own. But there's one problem. You aren't of Dalrita blood. Which means the grace of the Stone Dream won't be granted to you. So, I can't admit you to our ranks. Our ancient laws say you might, yes, but they're called ancient laws, not simply laws for a reason. If you achieved something great, say a feat of war, the Elder Council might allow you to walk the path, provided someone would stand in as your father. But as I said, it's no old dead law. Our tribes aren't exactly known for their hospitality, let alone naming outsiders as kin. Once, yes, Camelot had written him off, and he joined the knights that never came. Their tomb lies here, at the Forlorn Swords. He never returned to Camelot because he embraced our ways and chose to stay. No surprise he didn't feel like going back to the capital. Don't fool yourself into thinking you'll repeat his story. He barely completed his path, and not a single one of our women would lie with him. And so, that night's line ended. Well, if you've won Gavor's favor, I'm willing to risk giving you a small task. To prove your worth to the Stone Wardens, you must find a weird stone vein. I assume you know what it is. It used to be the first task for any prospective member of a brotherhood. These days, most deposits are depleted, so the task is a bit harder. I can tell you where to start searching. There was once a rich vein in an old mine to the north. It may yet run deeper. We abandoned it a century ago, so I can't say exactly what you'll find inside, but I can guarantee you'll find something. And on that note, if I were you, I'd bring my best weapon. Thrigva, that cursed fool, undead and merged with the Lone Pillar, thinking himself invincible. And perhaps he is, for now. So I guess you want to challenge him to a duel. You cannot defeat him as you are. The Lone Pillar grants him strength beyond mortal flesh. No blade will bite. No armor will hold. Not unless you earn the blessings of the Giants. Listen well. To face Thrigva and live, you'll need more than just courage. You'll need to forge a weapon. A true marvel. One capable of shattering the Lone Pillar's might. Without it, you're as good as dead. I'll help you forge it. But you'll need to gather the Giants' blessings first. They hold all the fragments you'll need. What do I look like? A giant keeper? The Giants have no love for the likes of us anymore. Their power does not come cheaply. If Stroner sent you, then go back to his hut. His wife might know something useful. Women tend to keep the wisdom their men ignore. The Giants respect bargains, oaths, and stories. Stroner's wife, she knows the old ways of dealing with them. Stroner keeps her close. Protective, I'd say. Or maybe ashamed. If we're being honest, the Ulfar tribesfolk say she's mad. Perhaps even a liar. Claiming she speaks to giants? You can imagine how that goes over. But mad or not, she knows things the rest of us don't. Don't judge her by their words. Go to her and listen. You might find her madness holds more truth than most men's sanity. If it were up to me, I'd vote against it. The Moot waste time dreaming of invading Camelot, while the Dorita crumble from within. We've got greater problems to solve. Fractured tribes, lost traditions, and a dwindling future. Fixing that should come first. Conspire. Ha! Call it what you like. Plotting, scheming, or just doing what needs to be done. Thrigva's not a man anymore. He's a curse on the Ulfar. And curses don't just go away on their own. Stroner and I understand that. If you're wise, you'll understand it too. Someone has to stop him. And it sure as hell won't happen by sitting around. Off you go. And thank you for aiding the Ulfar tribe.
Vigdis? What does she have to do with this? Does that old man really believe her ramblings are the will of the giants? Unbelievable. I won't say what I really think about this. If the Master of the Brotherhood believes it, who am I to argue? Because I'm protecting her from prying eyes and the superstitions of villagers, that's why. I don't know you. Why would I speak of my wife, accused of madness, to a stranger? For any Dalrita, losing one's mind is like a living death, a shame worse than most can bear, but I love her too much to grant her a good death. If Darvan believes she hasn't gone mad, but instead serves as a bridge between the Ulfr and the giants, then I'll gladly let you speak with her. You'll find her in the locked room. Here's the key.